The hybrid training style lends itself perfectly to building an aesthetic physique. And yet, most of the people that I see, most of the people that come to me for coaching, are in a position where they're grafting their arse off all the fucking time, and yet they still look soft. They still look shit. They still look skinny fat. This is a choice because there is a solution out there that exists where you can have both aesthetics and the athletic side as well. And for a lot of guys, they almost believe this, false. Well, it's a lie, really. I guess I was going to call it false belief, call it a lie. The cardio kills gains, and actually, there is a limit to what you can do with your physique if you're training hybrid. Or they've just got comfortable with where they're at, and they don't push on. They don't try and really discover what they could truly look like and what their aesthetic potential is. Both are excuses. The issue isn't commitment, isn't dedication, isn't discipline, isn't work rate. You're already grafting hard. I've trained the other way, and I've trained this way for many years now, and I can tell you right now, this takes a lot more dedication and commitment. So I know where you're at right now if you train hybrid. All right, you may not have the best plan, but I know at a minimum, I know where your head's at, and you're willing to work. Because the thing that's gravitational almost with hybrid training is the way that we train, and it's just so appealing of putting that work in. Not everybody has that. You do. And the issue with body fat is simply just fucking expenditure. Losing body fat is the easiest fucking thing in the world. Like, I don't understand how people get so stuck with it. You just fucking eat less and move more. And it really is that simple. Yes, obviously there's some more advanced techniques and ways to set up nutrition and training and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it is literally just such a fucking simple process. And when you train this way, you've got it nailed down. You already like working hard. You've already got a shit ton of expenditure. You're dedicated, you're committed, you're already living with structure and discipline and routine. You have the perfect foundations for aesthetics, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video today, guys, and show you exactly how you're going to do that when you train hybrid. Now, the way that I like to think about it, or the way that I want you to think about it, is paying in full, and that represents how hard you're actually working right now, but only collecting half the loot. What is hybrid? Balancing the physique development and the engine building, really. So what happens for most guys is they're working harder than they did before they trained hybrid, but then they're half built. They've got this physique that looks good to the average person in society, but against your potential, it's nowhere near what you could fucking be. And yes, you've gained a lot of fitness, and yes, you enjoy training that way, but you're not as sharp as you could be on that side either. And it's like, why are you working harder than ever before and then only collecting half of the loot, especially when it's fucking right there for you to grab? You already have all of the ingredients. The only thing that you need to do at this point in time is lose body fat. That's it. And losing body fat is the fastest thing that you can do in fitness. And what I mean by that is building muscle takes a lot longer than losing body fat. Knocking 15 minutes off your marathon PB takes a lot longer than losing body fat. Losing body fat is the fastest metric that we can change, and it's the one that you need. You already have all of the ingredients. So you would be a fool to not capitalize on this and to not make it the next thing that you address, right? The position that you're in right now is just evidence that there's a gap in your current approach or current mindset. You're probably in a position where it's either the first or the second or both. You either don't believe that you can do it. Again, you've bought into the lies of cardio kills gains, and there's a cap or a ceiling on what you can do with your physique when you train this way, or you've got comfortable at this standard. And I know what you're thinking. I'm not comfortable because I'm grafting my ass off and I'm training really hard. But you're still leaving progress on the table. And you still could look better visually. And it's not about vanity. Think about why you started this journey in the first place. It was to become undeniable. It was to become a fully well-rounded, built individual and discover what the best version of you looks like. And again, not vanity. Looks like, you got to understand, guys, when you see somebody in incredible shape, and we'll just talk about the visual now, right? When you see somebody that's built an aesthetic physique and they're really lean, and you can tell they like how they look, the reason they like how they look isn't just for how they look. It's knowing the man that they are now versus when they had a load more body fat. It's that simple. And that's what you need to tap back into, right? You are comfortable where you are, and I know you're working hard, but you're comfortable in this position because there's more to do. So why would you stop now? Why would you stop short of the goal? Because you had better than this in mind when you started. And I've been there, guys. When I started on this hybrid training journey, it was the same thing for me. I was like 2 years in, and I was looking at my physique, and I was just like, I don't even look that good for how hard I'm working. Like, I really didn't. And then that all changed, and I kind of realised, like, right, okay, why am I in this position? Well, I know that cardio doesn't kill my gains. I didn't believe that. But I definitely got comfortable. And I definitely kind of just felt like, well, I'm just, this is where I'm at. I mean, I'm on a roll right now. I am pushing as hard as I can. And I just had to call myself out. And I just had to look at myself and just go, I've looked better than this in the past. For me, it was a bit of a different scenario where I had already been shredded before I'd come over to hybrid training. But I was looking at myself and I was like, I already know what I can do. So why can I not replicate that now? And again, there's no more work required. You have everything. You're already doing everything. We just need to be a bit more savvy with nutrition and training and sequencing, and I'm going to run you through that in a second. But imagine turning down extra money from work. Imagine you get an email from HR before your next pay slip, right? And they say, we don't need you to work anymore this month. Everything that you've done, the hours you've done is perfect. We don't need more responsibility from you or more output. We just want to give you more money. We want to give you a better reward for the work that you're already putting in. You'd bite their hand off, right? This is the same situation. You've already got everything you fucking need to get shredded and look like a Greek god, and to bring your best physique yet to the table. Why would you turn that down? In most cases when lads come to me, right, and they train this way, it's 90% of lads. I ask what they're currently doing with training, and I'm like, bro, let's do less than that. You probably have to fucking work less. No shit, I swear to God, most people are so overtrained because they lack precision. And that's those false beliefs again, right? The cardio kills gains. Most of you, if you follow my IG or you've watched my other YouTube videos, you probably know some of this stuff already, but I'm 6'4", I'm 97 kilos. And I've not only done a lot of endurance events, but I've done them to an incredibly high level. And I'm not trying to suck my own dick, but I have. 100 miles in 22 hours. I think that puts me in the top 0.01% of humanity. I had that in ChatGPT the other week. I've done multiple ultramarathons, I've done half Ironman, I've done High Rocks, I've done a sub-3 marathon, a 2:57 marathon. Which again, sub-3 marathon is normalised on social media now. Sub-3 marathon is elite. Now there's obviously further levels, and I will be chasing down like a sub 250, 245 in the next couple of years. But all of this time, guys, all of this fucking time, I've been physique focused. That's always been my aim. That's what makes me tick. I love being in the gym. I love bodybuilding, and I love the hybrid side, but I fucking love building my physique and putting size on and getting shredded. I absolutely love it. So you have to get rid of this idea that cardio kills gains, because it doesn't. The other thing that you probably believe in is I'm already maxed out. Again, most guys that come into the program doing way too much. And I love the mindset. There's worse positions for people to come into the program in. Far worse. In fact, it's not even really a bad thing. But you're already maxed out in terms of maybe time, in terms of how many sessions you're doing per week. And you probably think, well, how am I going to create a better physique when I can't do any more than I'm already doing? I can't train twice a day, 5 days a week. That's not what you need. You need precision, right? You need to be very specific with training, nutrition, training phasing, sequencing, and what you do in the next phase versus this one, right? The macro cycles that we look at through the year, because that's what makes a hybrid physique or a hybrid program tick. It's not what you do now. It's what you do now relative to what's happening next, relative to what's happening after that. You have to have everything mapped out, and when you can look wide and you can expand the time horizon, it's very fucking easy to plan it all. But ultimately, these two just serve as excuses to not go all in. That's really what it is, you know. Half commitment, and you've got to be very honest with yourself, guys. I know a lot of people watching this now are going to think, no, I am committed, I am fully dedicated. The proof is in the pudding. If you're not sub 10% body fat, which by the way, you don't need to hold that for the rest of your life. You just need to do it once to set the foundation to then push food up again. And also to just prove to yourself and bank that evidence and that gain that belief that you get from pushing to a new level. But ultimately it's an excuse, right? Because if you were fully committed, you'd have already done that. So the sequence matters. There is no there's no one fixed way to do this. Every single client, obviously, it's a little bit different. It depends on their starting position, where they want to go, how much muscle mass they've got, if they've got any events coming up or whatever. But the principle is the same. We don't progress both at the same time. We don't try and put on size and strength and become a better runner at the same time. Right? We hold one. We make sure it doesn't go backwards. We make sure we don't lose any ability, and we push the other one up. Once we've had enough success in that, once you've seen you running, PBs and whatever, or heart rate dropping on your easy runs, or whatever we're trying to do in that particular phase, we just switch the roles and we switch the priority. So this one that was pushing up, that one just starts to, well, not go down, but maintain, and then you push up the physique. And that's really it. That's the principle. Now, when we apply it, there's a lot more to do, right? But your next move needs to be that. It needs to be a phase where you're prioritizing the physique and using the foundation that you already have with the engine to facilitate getting to 10% body fat. Now, yes, there's specifications that we do with nutrition, right? There's ways that we set up macronutrients when food's dropping lower. There's forms of cardio that we would avoid when food's getting lower because it would accumulate too much fatigue. And we've got to manage fatigue because we're training in the gym as well with strength and hypertrophy. We've got to manage central nervous system load. And there's ways that we get you just in the right mindset, right? The vision planning, the alignment in the morning, the habits, the reflection, and the identity process. You are doing a new thing that's at a new level, and out the back of this, you are going to basically be on this high, and you're going to be riding this wave of momentum, and you're going to use that to benefit your life and to go after work more, or fucking go after these other goals that you've got. And when you tie in more meaning to it, it just becomes fucking easy. But that's essentially what we do, right? There's all sorts we can do with training, there's all sorts we can do with nutrition, but there's also a lot that we do with mindset and structure and routine. And that's how you get thick skin shredded and sub 10% body fat. Now, once we're there, the job is not done, okay? That's like phase one of getting lean, because then we need to get your metabolism back into the green and get everything kind of flowing. So then we reverse diet, we slowly increase food, we get all the glycogen stores refilled. From that point, we've maintained body composition, the same body composition as when we were in the peak of the fat loss phase, your leanest physique to date, but food's a lot higher. So performance is better, recovery is better, we're not as hungry. From that point, now, that's your foundation, and that's where you can push performance up. And then you've fucking done it. Like, it really is as easy as that, guys. Like, you have everything that you fucking need to look like a Greek god. You're already performing like an animal, right? But that's something that we obviously we optimize as well. This is the way to do it. This is the way when you train hybrid to get absolutely shredded. It couldn't be easier, right? You already have all of this. And when you're completely built, and when you look at the man in the mirror, and you know how hard you're working, and you know that you've attained a level of physique that you've not previously seen from yourself, you believe in yourself. You have all the evidence to believe, you have all the evidence to know that you can do anything that you put your mind to. And that's the deeper reasoning behind all of this shit, right? I know you think about the six pack. I know you think about the fucking Strava time, and I know you think about the marathon, whatever. The real driver for us guys is this. It's knowing who we are. It's knowing that we're fulfilling our potential. You can't think or believe that you're fulfilling your potential or anywhere near it when you look in the mirror and you're not absolutely shredded. And again, you ain't got to stay at that level of body fat, but you have to get there to set the foundation for living this hybrid lifestyle and pushing both performance and aesthetics as well. So that's the video, guys. Hope you got some value from that. In the description, there's a free hybrid training plan and a daily habit system. And there's also another free masterclass where I go into this in a little bit more detail as well. Also, coaching links in the bio, coaching links in the description as well. But other than that, I hope you got some value. Subscribe. See you in the next video.